guys, welcome back to the channel. A lot of you guys really loved the first Reddit stories where me and my boyfriend read Am I the A-hole? I thought I would go a bit step further and try the subreddit confessions. I literally just clicked random links and bookmarked them so I don't know what's gonna pop up. I broke up with my boyfriend because he yelled at me. I'm a 29-year-old woman. He and I dated for about 8 months. Our relationship was fine. We did things together, we had fun. There weren't any obvious red flags, but I always got this feeling that he didn't value me much, girl. So if you got that feeling about me. Anyway, we're not there yet. At times, he seemed a bit cold and acted like he was annoyed with me for no apparent reason. It all came to a head when 3 days ago, when we were hanging out at my place, he asked me to hand him the TV remote. I was sitting right next to him on the couch and was working on my laptop. I reached for the remote without looking, accidentally handed him my phone instead. I thought it was funny after I realized what I had done. I laughed as I handed him the actual remote. He had that same annoyed look on his face. Oh wow. He began yelling at me and called me a stupid bitch. Automatic Muhammad Ali punch to the face, but I was stunned. I have never raised my voice to him or disrespected him in any way. I did not deserve to be treated this way. I told him our relationship was over and asked him to leave. He told me to calm down and stop overreacting. I simply walked to the front door and opened it wide and told him to get out and never come back. He walked out telling me I was being dramatic. The very next day, I returned the presents he had given me. They meant nothing to me now. My friends are telling me that I did overreact and I shouldn't just end a relationship because he yelled at me once and have asked me to patch things up. His friends too began harassing me on social media. I blocked them all. His friends, not mine. I'm not going to reach out to him to try to work things out, as some people have suggested. It's the fact that he's telling her that she's overreacting, but he's the one calling her the stupid B word after accidentally handing him her phone. If anything, you're the one that overreacted, and her reaction was pretty valid because if someone called me a stupid bitch, you'd be signed up for Scientology. Honestly, that was just pent up aggression. He never truly liked her. I think she was just there and he was just like, whatever. Obviously, he didn't like her from the jump. Like she said, he was always a bit annoyed by her. She would do little things. He would just get fed up. I think this is just downright mean. And then the fact you're not making it any better by having your friends harass her and are conditioned to be the blame for most scenarios. And this is an obvious case that she's nowhere near the problem he is. It was over for you and you got him clean the fuck out. I'm proud of you, girl. I'm proud. Henny proud. Alright, I need to get something off my chest. And honestly, I'm shaking as I write this. I've been holding onto the secret for way too long, and I can't keep it bottled up any longer. It's something that I know is going to shock everyone who knows me, but I've come to realize that honesty is the best policy, even if it means facing the consequences. So here it goes. A couple of years ago, I cheated on my girlfriend. You know what? I'm not surprised. The way that you worded this, it seems like you want sympathy, so I'm not surprised it's something crazy like this. And not just once. I'm talking about multiple times. I know. You're probably thinking, what an asshole. And you're right to feel that way. I was in a committed relationship and I completely betrayed her trust. At the time, I was caught up in a whirlwind of emotions and temptation. Oh, brother. And I let it get the best of me. I convinced myself that it was just a phase, that it didn't mean anything, but deep down, I knew it was wrong. I didn't just hurt her, I hurt myself too. No one cares. We care about her, we don't care about you. Guilt has been eating away at me for years. I can never bring myself to confess because I was terrified of losing her. I kept pretending everything was fine. I didn't like the perfect boyfriend while hiding this massive secret. But every time I looked at her, I felt like a fraud. It's like I was living a double life. James Bond. And I hated myself for it. To make matters worse, I've seen how my actions affected her. Does she know or does she not know? He said I couldn't bring myself to confess, and then he's saying she became more insecure. So does she have like a hunch, or did you tell her? I don't know. Confusing story, boy. She changed, became more insecure, and I could tell she was struggling. I thought I could bury my guilt, but it just made everything worse. I eventually ended the relationship because I couldn't keep lying to her or myself. I thought that walking away would somehow make it easier, but it didn't. It just left me feeling more empty than ever. I feel sad for you. I've been reflecting on this for a long time, and I realized that I need to own up to my mistakes. And I completely understand if people want nothing to do with me after this. I hope that by sharing this, I can finally start to heal, maybe help someone else avoid the same path I took. Okay, bro. Blah, 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 blah. Why are you admitting this? You're sharing this info with the wrong person. How are people gonna know, oh man, that's Tommy. Man, that's Gerald. I knew that was you, bro. Like, come on. You should have broke up with her in the first place instead of just leading her on like that and just hiding that guilt. This just seems so condescending because you did not do the correct thing by admitting this. You confess to anonymous strangers on the internet. Whoopee! Like, you want a cookie, my nigga? You want an award? Like, I'm shaking as I write this. Like, oh my God, bro, you got the shivers. Turn the heat on. Get you a warm blanket. Get you a onesie. Get you something. Talking about you shaking, boy. Come on, ew. That just pissed me off. Like a little cold sore. Like, you're just still, after everything we try to do, like, you're still there. You just have to go away on your own. Like, ugh. I've intentionally not cleaned our house for the past year. You better have a reasoning for that. My husband claims to be a germaphobe, but lives like a slob. We separated, but never officially divorced in 2020. I truly loved living alone with my pets, but am admittedly not the best housekeeper. Laundry is always piled up and the dishes don't get washed until I can actually fill the dishwasher. Honestly, that's me. Me, girl, you sound like me. Because I'm not gonna put 2 plates in the fucking dishwasher. That's just a waste of chemicals. I'm gonna wait till I can actually fill up the dishwasher to wash the dishes. It's called dishwasher, not one dishwasher. It's multiple dishes. Come on, bro. I don't sweep/mop as often as I should, but will make a generous effort if expecting company. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you live alone, I don't think this is the worst thing to do. Like, if you have a partner, if you have kids, or if you have people living with you, sure, you should clean your house more often. But if you just by yourself chilling, girl, who cares? So back in 2022, we reconnected and rekindled our relationship and decided to move back in together. OCD, which I recently learned to call it, is extremely frustrating. He must wash or sanitize his hands after touching anything that's been on the floor, money, his wallet, etc. I am required to do the same. Any piece of clothing that has been worn outside of the bedroom, his safe space, even if only for an hour, has to go immediately into the laundry. He hasn't had a legit job in over a year. Girl, stop. Cut the cameras. He's a germaphobe because he don't have a job. That's the only thing he can do is be a germaphobe. He got nothing else to do, girl. Some under the table work for a while, started 2 different server jobs, and was fired within a few weeks. How do you get fired from a server job? What did you do? I work full time and pay at least 90% of the bills. That's crazy. This was still the case before we split. So for the past year, I decided that if he is gonna be, I'm not going to do the housework. So basically she's saying, if you're gonna be a slob, I'm not gonna do the housework. Because guys, our house is disgraceful and I'd be mortified if anyone came to visit. Floors haven't been cleaned in months. The garbage is overflowing before it gets taken out. Last week we got a notice in the mail about our unkept lawn. I cave in and clean the bathroom when he leaves skid marks. Oh my God. It's literally my worst nightmare is skid marks. Especially skid marks on the toilet. Wipe your ass. You need to do the wipe test. You need to wipe until the toilet paper is white. Did y'all niggas forget when the sink or shower starts looking gross? But I legitimately can't tell if he just doesn't notice these things, doesn't care, or just knows that eventually I'll take care of them so he won't have to. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, that made me itch. Child, I don't even know why you got back with him in the first place. His D must have been fire. You know, you pulled a Gypsy Rose. The D is fire. The moment that you said skid marks on the toilet, eviction notice. This is crazy. How is he a germaphobe when he does stuff like this? I don't know much about OCD. I do know that it's really severe if you don't take care of it. Honestly, girl, you're turning into him because I don't care how my man perceives himself. I have to keep my house clean. At least somewhat decently clean now that you have 2 people living there. And the fact that you pay 90% of the bills is crazy to me. I've never heard of that. You're slowly becoming just like him by leaving that place a mess and not putting your foot down. Hey, nigga, wash your booty. Clean the sink. Take out the trash or you're not gonna have a house. You will be homeless. Yes, you're gonna be looking like Keanu Reeves. You can't know. My friend walked in on me getting my salad tossed. Ooh, spicy story, girl. Uh-oh. A few years back, I lost my job, had nowhere to live. I moved to Virginia Beach and decided to live with a high school friend on an air mattress in their living room. We went out that night and ran into 2 Navy officers, and I snagged the better of the 2. That's what I love to hear. We went back to my friends, and one thing led to another, and this Navy officer wanted to tongue my butthole. Who am I to deny it? Honestly, I'm not mad at that answer. Well, the next 15 minutes or so led to a ferocious salad tossing. My friend went to get a glass of water and walked through the living room to witness this. It scarred my friend for life. Shortly after, I had to find a new place to live. This lived in my head as one of my strangest moments for as long as I can recall. The fact that you just spread eagle wide open on the living room getting your ass ate. Of course your friend gonna ask you to move out. Okay, edit. I'm shocked by the amount of upvotes and questions I've gotten about this. I'm also happy to have sparked some controversy in some of you. I only posted this because of some slight remorse I felt due to the situation. Yes, it wasn't a Walmart air mattress in the middle of a living room. Yes, I was a little down on my luck and it was strange for my friend to walk in. Yes, I did take a quick shower, which after a night out was as fast and thorough as I could. I'm more concerned that nobody else is engaged in these activities at all. Since I've gotten my own place, I posted many salad bars. I posted many salad bars, invite only. So please stop blowing up my DMs. Girl, what kind of dress are you serving? Rich? Italian? Romaine? You know what? I'm not mad at the story. Who eats random ass, bro? This is a Navy police officer, they said. Thank you for your service. I poisoned my school teacher's coffee in the 8th grade. There isn't much to the story. She left her coffee mug in the art room. She was the art teacher. And I squeezed like 1.5-ish a Lysol wipe in her coffee when she wasn't looking. She was bitchy and she did not like children. But children, especially 8th grade age, are difficult to deal with. I don't remember her particularly doing anything to me, but teachers at that school were fucked up, did shit like call me ugly, throw stuff at me, throwing my shit across the room, scream at the top of their lungs at me and other students. This was not an uncommon occurrence. I don't really know how that was allowed. I don't really feel bad for her either. She lived. She was bitchy and didn't like children. But you just said she didn't really do anything to you, so how was that justified? Most people do not like children. It's not equivalent to putting a fucking Lysol wipe juice in someone's drink. Edit. This is controversial AF. The I don't feel bad part is more being an edgelord than anything. Me that I do not still hold a lot of anger and contempt with myself years later for the action because I was 12. Yes, I feel that my actions are wrong. Yes, I regret doing it. No, I wouldn't do anything like that again, and I do not currently struggle with violent thoughts or actions towards other people. No, I do not have any psychopathic or antisocial disorders. I do have schizoaffective disorder and grew up with violence in the home, so that's probably a part to play. Edit 2. Also, for everyone not believing that teachers are fucked up, understand that just because it isn't your experience doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. I do agree with that. There are some fucked up teachers. I had some mean teachers growing up, so I'm not gonna discredit her there. And I think OP is a girl. These teachers would treat the kids like shit at times. Yes, large majority of the time they weren't this way, but they were sometimes. This stuff does happen. I don't want to say it, but this is why you don't leave your drinks unattended, even if you do work at a school with kids, because they do stupid shit like this. And the fact that you didn't have like a solid reasoning for poisoning her, not to say you should ever poison anyone unless it's like a life-threatening situation. The fact that the teacher specifically did nothing to you for you to poison her is astonishing to me. And the fact that you were 12 doing this is really, really concerning, and I hope that you've gotten professional help since then, because this is not very cash money. There's no sense of like empathy or like, yeah, you regret it, but that doesn't mean anything. Are you sorry? Did you apologize to her? This one is also subreddit confessions, but this is also tied to bad roommates. Oh wow. My roommate shit in his room for years before anyone found out. This story requires some context, so let me start from the beginning. I packed up and moved into a student house for my first year of university. It was exciting. I lived with 6 other people and they were all super cool, but this one dude, I'll call him Jack, had a really bad odor all the time. None of us said anything because 1, awkward, and 2, maybe he had some medical issues, I don't know. So it comes to the end of the year, and since we all get on really well, we decide to move to a new place together. We move in to start the 2nd year of uni, but this guy's smell is getting dramatically worse. I don't even know how to describe it, like a mixture of mold, old cheese, and BO. Jesus Christ! My nose would shrivel up and die. My nose would fly off of my face. It got so bad that none of us could eat in the same room as him, let alone sit next to him and actually have a conversation. What was also weird was that he used to wear 3 pairs of trousers at one time, like some jogging bottoms, some jeans, and then another pair of jeans on top. We ignored the smell for another year until it became too much. We all discussed the very obvious issue, and after weeks of dropping hints, we decided that the guy he was closest to should tell him directly. So he did, and he got ignored completely. But then another issue arises. We not only get mice, but a bedbug infestation. It was horrific. Our landlord called out an exterminator who had to go in all of our rooms to fumigate. Jack got pulled aside and spoken to individually, but we thought maybe he was talking bills, etc., and didn't think to ask. Everything seemed okay, and they said they'd be back in 10 days to make sure it worked. Jack still smelled really bad, but that seemed like the last of our troubles. And suddenly Jack disappeared, saying he was gone home for a break or whatever. In the middle of the academic year, anyways, the fumigators, come back, and me and two other girls were in the living room letting them do their thing. When the men came downstairs, I will never forget this conversation. Guy, have you noticed a strange smell about the guy in room 3? Me, yes, since we've known him. Guy, how would you describe the smell? Girl, shit. Guy, yup. We all went white and stared at each other in disbelief, thinking that he was trying to wind us up. But no, not only was his room crawling in bugs and all sorts, he was shitting in his room in 7 suitcases and using his curtains as toilet paper. Oh. The bathroom was next door to him. The men proceeded to bring down all the evidence and go through every item in the garden. They were clearly also in shock because they kept nervously laughing and gagging when they found a huge lump of turd or really badly stained jeans covered in shit. Since it's definitely not their job to dispose of all that, they left it all for us in bin bags in our garden. The landlord tried to help us, but he was so disturbed and angry about the whole thing that he wasn't much help. Safe to say that guy never returned and had to pay thousands in damage. We put in a new carpet, bed, curtains, painted the walls. It was all destroyed with feces. His mom turned up to clean on his behalf though and cried, but he had some mental health problems. I don't know, but still thinking about it to this day makes me cringe. I don't like to assume things like this, but I think the guy that obviously that was, shitting in the suitcases, I think he was mentally disturbed and something had to happen to him growing up in order for him to resort to shitting in suitcases when the bathroom was literally right next door. Maybe he wasn't fond of bathrooms. Like me personally, I'm not really fond of bathrooms either. I do my business, get the fuck out. It's sad and it's disturbing. What really broke me was his mom having to come and clean that up. I'd be so... If I was the roommate, I'd be pissed that you had your mom come and clean this shit up and you just disappeared off the face of the planet and left your mom to clean this shit up. I don't care how mentally disturbed you are, but where did this guy disappear off to? Did he just went back home? Did he drop out of school? And the fact also, I don't like how the roommates put up with this shit for 2 years. Yeah, sure, you don't want to be mean and say, dude, you smell like shit, but it's like, why does the house smell bad? Why do you smell like that? I would ask like, hey bro, is there something we need to talk about? Do we need to get you some mental help? Why do you smell like this? Are you not washing properly? I don't like how the roommates let this shit go on for so long. Literal shit. Y'all let this shit go on for so long. And this is a health hazard. This is a biohazard. Y'all health could have been put at risk. Who's to say y'all were inhaling that for 2.5 years? I just feel bad for him. I feel bad for the roommates. I feel really worse for the mom. The mom is the whole victim of this situation. The roommates were just playing. That's it. I tap out. I'm done. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think was the worst story. I think obviously we just found it, but I continue to digress. Everyone has different opinions. I will see you guys later. Bye bye.